Welcome back to the Roundrockville Tales YouTube channel. I'm the author of A Roundrockville Tale, whatever, Trevor. It's just too nice to go inside today, so I'm going to do this outside and enjoy the sunshine. I'll be reading Chapter 11, The Feast, starting on page 59. Lumpy stood at the head of the Roundrockville's center courtyard. The round rocks curiously gave him their attention. It was a night like this. The full moon was bright enough to cast a distinct shadow. As a playful young rock, I chased my shadow out into the night, through the passage hidden behind the giant boulder. I lost my way and wandered down the mountain into the forest. When the moon disappeared behind the mountaintop, the way home was lost to me. Eventually, I found other rocks and began to wander. I saw spectacular things, studied art and music, worked odd jobs, learned trades, and sailed the seas. I explored beautiful places and had epic adventures. I have loved and been loved. I have experienced pain and grieved. I have lived a full and enjoyable life, a life full of travel and adventure. The only thing missing was a place to settle into, a place to call home. Roundrockville always held that place in my heart. After many years traveling and searching, all hope was gone. Roundrockville was hidden from the world and lost to me. That was until I secured a job at Flying Rockographers as a surveyor and cartographer. Flying Rockographers use hot air balloons to produce maps of undiscovered territory. When I flew over a massive circular valley with a small circular town in the middle, I damn near fell out of my hot air balloon. Finally, I literally had a map back home. I cannot express the relief and gratitude that overwhelms my heart to finally find my way back home to Roundrockville. I look forward to finding my place within your community and getting to know each and every rock here. It is good to be home. Lumpy raised his glass high. Here's to your home and mine, Roundrockville. Sir Reginald Roundbottom II thought to himself, "Wow, with charisma like that, I hope he doesn't come for my job." Standing beside Lumpy, waiting for the crowd to calm. "Thank you, Linus. Excuse me, Lumpy. On behalf of Roundrockville, it is our pleasure to welcome you home." The mayor shook Lumpy's hand. "Now, let the feast begin." Sylvia was still resisting Lumpy's charms. "Well, he's just making himself right at home, isn't he?" Slate had some residual resentment. He could see the tension in Sylvia's face, and her eyes locked onto Lumpy. "I don't trust him either." He gave Sylvia a look of alliance, and as if hearing his thoughts, she returned the look. 3 large, round wooden tables were arranged in a triangle formation, filling the center courtyard. Each table contained a centerpiece of fresh sunflowers, yellow daisies, and dandelions, with a base of pine cones and spruce boughs, honey biscuits, gravy, cranberry sauce, pickled beets, salad toppings, dressings, and various condiments circled around the center on a rotating section of the tables. A beautiful and appetizing buffet line ended with smoked pork. The smell of barbecued pork carried aromas of sweet honey and garlic mixed with cherry wood smoke. The long table continued with roast chickens that added rosemary and oregano. A mixture of mushrooms added a bouquet of musk and earth. A side of caramelized onions in melted butter brought their distinct pairing. The smells on the table continued with sauces, soups, and salads. Sweet scents of cream, cinnamon, vanilla, fruit, and berry pies wafted over from the dessert table. Lumpy was already feeling full just seeing and smelling the amazing feast. The triangle formation of the tables created a circle in the middle. Lumpy was strategically seated at the top of that circle. Crystal, to his right, next to her, Reggie and Reginald. Esmeralda sat to his left. Dr. and Mrs. Garnett filled out the circular table. What's the coolest place you traveled to?
Good question, Grace. Most places are much cooler for travelers than locals. Locals tend to see past the beauty of their homes. To answer your question, I was hiking the rainforests of Volcanic Island and I got lost. I was stopped by the sight of a young gravel-head eagle on the ground, stretching its wings. You can tell they're young eagles because their heads haven't turned to the gravelly colors yet. Anyway, I see another in a tree, and another further down. I look around and notice they were all around me, on the ground and in the trees. They were learning to fly. I realized I was where the eagles fledge. For a couple of minutes, I stood in awe, looking around. Then I realized that I might be in danger. The adult birds might not want me there. I turned around and found my way back to the trail. That was the coolest place I have ever been, where the eagles fledge. When Lumpy stopped talking, he realized the entire group was silently listening to him.
That is super cool, Pebbles announced from one of the other tables. Conversation broke out again. Sophia quietly muttered,
Look at me. I'm the world's most interesting rock.
Slate whispered,
Yeah. Look at me. I'm so smart and worldly.
My good Bedrock. You heard that? The comment was out of character for Sophia.
I'm so embarrassed. Not at all. You're welcome to your opinion, as am I. We should talk after dinner.
The feast was everything a feast should be. Food so good you don't want to stop eating, more plentiful than you can possibly finish. Then there's dessert. Lumpy answered questions from his table and from the rocks behind him at other tables. The rocks ate and chatted about Lumpy's anecdotes. With dinner done, rocks began moving about, swapping seats to mingle. Crystal excused herself and left the table. Reggie instantly replaced her.
You stay away from her.
Pumped up and fiercely serious. Lumpy laughed with his smile.
Oh, how cute.
But stopped the audible laugh.
Who? Crystal? Well, Reggie, that's up to Crystal.
I love her, you know.
Reggie pushed his chest forward. Reginald saw Reggie confronting Lumpy and approached, preparing to intervene once again.
Yes, Reggie. I know.
Lumpy paused.
You love your father, don't you?
Reginald stopped, just within earshot. Reggie thought for a second.
Not sure what that has to do with Crystal. Yes, I love my father.
And does it bother you that I like your father? I have great respect and admiration for him. Does that change your love for him?
No.
My feelings for your father are separate from your feelings for your father.
Yeah?
And if I become friends with your father, would that be okay with you?
Sure.
The same is true for Crystal. My feelings for Crystal don't change your feelings for Crystal.
That's different.
I know the feelings are different, but the situation is the same. Do you understand that?
Sorta.
Good enough. I only sorta understand it myself. The difference is, the feelings you have for Crystal come from your heart. You didn't choose those feelings, your heart did. But Crystal doesn't choose those feelings either. Her heart does. If you truly love Crystal, you must let her heart choose for her. Just like my heart will choose for me, as your heart chooses for you. You get that, right?
I suppose.
You can understand why I like Crystal, can't you?
Of course.
You wouldn't ask Crystal to ignore her heart, would you?
Of course not.
You're young, and these feelings are new to you. Trust me, your heart will choose many rocks to love. One day, your heart will choose a rock, and that rock's heart will choose you. Does this make sense to you?
Not really.
Fair enough. It doesn't really make sense to me either. Maybe, if we're lucky, one day it will. Let's just say, regardless of how we feel, we must respect how Crystal feels about others.
Okay.
Lumpy stood up and walked away, almost bumping into Reginald. I'm sorry. Didn't see you there. I hope I'm not out of my lane. Reginald slid forward.
Not at all. Thank you. I was dreading that.
Reginald scooped up Lumpy's hand.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You are a wise and thoughtful rock. Welcome home, Linus.
The mayor slipped past and joined his son. As most rocks were enjoying dessert, Slate and Sylvia slipped away for a walk. Barely out the door, Sylvia started.
Rocks don't seem to understand the implications. Roundrockville will never be the same. Other rocks will follow. Mark my words. You heard him. He made a map. Who is he to decide to open Roundrockville up to the whole world? He's a threat to our very way of life. He has other rocks blinded with his charm and charisma, but I don't trust him.
That made sense to Slate.
He happened to show up just as the diddly fence collapsed. He may not have dug that hole, but the timing is sus diddly vicious. Then he sticks his diddly nose in with a perfect solution. Yeah, he wants to build some kind of diddly hickey mechanism to tear down my fence.
Slate exaggerated a bit.
So he shows up here, all charming like, with a perfect story, the same day the fence collapses, and he happens to have an idea for a doohickey that could tear down the fence. I don't diddly trust him. Not one diddly bit.
Slate was getting worked up again.
I don't know what he could be up to, but I don't trust him either. He's just too good to be true. He put this whole town in a difficult position. How long will it take to fix the fence? That's hard to say. We don't diddly know what we're dealing with. A couple of weeks at least. Good. If he wants to help, let's let him. You can keep an eye on him and see what he's up to.
Dessert was finished, and things were winding down. A few rocks began to clean up. Soon all the rocks joined to clean up. Quieter conversations continued as they worked. Lumpy was helping clear
the buffet table and chatting with Samuel S. Sandstone.
In New Rock City, they have electric lights that light up the streets. It's like a full moon every night.
Roundy moved right into Lumpy's personal space.
Are you saying that we live in the Dark Ages?
Not at all, Roundy. Roundrockville is an extraordinary community. You have everything you need here. It is self-sustained and sustainable. Roundrockville should be used as a model.
Aye, extraordinary indeed. And we have everything we need.
Roundy was looking for trouble.
What do we need with you?
Well, you might not need me, but I have as much right to be here as any rock.
Lumpy stood his ground.
He's testing me. I intend to pull my weight. I'm not here for a free ride. This is my home.
Nah, this is my home. Always has been. I worked hard to sustain it. What have you done to belong here?
Roundy was pushing hard.
Philosophically speaking, I believe any rock has the right to go and be wherever they want. But this was my home long before it was yours.
Aye, philosophically speaking, I wouldn't want to chip away at an already eroded old rock.
That erosion comes from tough times and hard work. A few of these lumps come from tumbling with other rocks. You are young and naive. I have been to war. You cannot intimidate me. I'm more than enough rock to pummel you.
Ha! How about we find out, old-timer? Roundy lunged at Lumpy. Lumpy stepped aside like a matador avoiding a bull.
You've been warned. I have no quarrel with you, but if you insist on testing me, I will defend myself.
You talk too much. Show me what you got. Roundy lunged again. This time, Lumpy moved aside, snatching up Roundy's arm, twisting and spinning Roundy to the ground. Lumpy put all his weight on Roundy, pinning him securely to the ground. Lumpy held Roundy down just long enough for Slate to pull him off. Slate rolled up just in time to see Lumpy had Roundy on the ground and pinned. Oh, no, you diddly don't. In less than a second, Slate crossed the center courtyard and had a hold of Lumpy. The next thing that Lumpy knew was Slate was on top of him.
What the diddly are you doing?
Bold and Rockstone pulled Slate off Lumpy. Lumpy was confused and angry.
What the frack? Welcome fracking home.
Lumpy knew better than to act on his anger and walked away. The excitement was over, and the rocks continued with cleanup. With the feast digesting in his belly and having had a nap earlier, Lumpy found himself wandering late into the night. The moon fully lit up Roundrockville, and the weather was pleasant. Sheriff Rockstone, Stone Rock, rolled up on Lumpy.
Well, if'n I was looking to make trouble, I might choose an evening like this to be out and about.
Rockstone's southern drawl and deep voice held a certain authority.
You wouldn't be looking to make trouble in my town, now would you?
Lumpy turned and smiled.
Well, no, sir. I couldn't sleep. Besides, I found too much trouble in my life. Now I'm looking to settle down. Well, I think Roundy might disagree. Y'all should know, if you go looking for trouble in this town, it's me you're gonna find, and I ain't so easy to handle as Roundy.
Lumpy took a step towards the sheriff.
Roundy came looking for me. I'm too old to go looking for trouble. But I am not going to take slag either.
Rockstone took a step forward as well.
Roundy is as harmless
as a rattlesnake with no fangs. You just let me handle him. Roundrockville is a peaceful place, as long as it stays peaceful. I ain't got nothing to do. I like doing nothing. You settle in, nice and quiet, and I ain't got a problem. Rockstone made his point. Y'all have a good night now. And slipped into the shadows.
Thank you. Sorry about the road noise. It's a tough one this week, but I got through it. Next week, chapter 12, settling in. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.